payroll time entry. To enter hours for payroll, we're going to go into the payroll screen, and then we're going to go into the time entry screen, and we're going to go into employee time entry. We're then presented with all the employees for the given company, corporation, store that we're authorized to see. To start off adding manually, then again we're assuming that we're manually entering this time. It's not coming from a time clock. So we're going to go ahead and click Add. In this case, I'm going to do Corporation 420 and Store 421. If I press Enter, I get the confirmation prompt. I click OK, and I'm presented with the first employee for that store in the first department, which happens to be, in this case, Department 100 Grocery. In this case, this is an hourly employee, so I start off with one of the shortcut keys, which is an H for hours. I press Enter. It then feeds me over to the hours field. I key in the number of hours, press Enter, and I'm ready to move on to the next employee. I can come up here and hit Next, and the next employee alphabetically in that department is displayed. Again, I use the H for hours, key in the number of hours the employee worked. I can then use the second shortcut, which is O for overtime. Press Enter. It automatically displays the overtime type. I key in the number of hours of overtime, press Enter, and I'm ready to move on to the next employee. If I want to use the keyboard as opposed to the mouse, I can do an F2 here, and it automatically feeds me to the next employee, which is the same as coming up here and clicking the Next button. One of the other shortcuts in the system is V for vacation. So if I type in V and press Enter, it then plugs in the type VAC for vacation, and I can key in the number of vacation hours for this individual employee. I'll go key Next, and again, back on an hour screen, so we're going to say hours. This person worked 20 hours. Let's say they had some overtime, use the O for overtime, key in the number of hours, and let's just say they also had a vacation day. Using the V, press Enter. There's the vacation. I can key in the number of vacation hours and press Enter. And then use F2 to move to the next employee. So now you'll notice we have a salary employee. So there's another shortcut key, which is S for salary. So if I key in S and press Enter, you'll notice that the entire salary is displayed. If I go and do F2 to move to the next employee, another salary employee, I use the S for salary, press Enter, and then F2 to move on to the next employee. One more salary employee, again S, to move forward. There's the salary, F2 to the next employee. I'm back to an hourly employee, hours, and you key in the hours, and then you go and so on, so on, and so on. So once you're done with this store, it will physically then bring you back to the list. We're going to go ahead and hit Return and move back to the list of employees. So now to physically look at some of that time that you've keyed in, you'll notice here that it's presenting all the stores for this corporation, which 420 is the first. I've keyed in store 421. So if I wanted to see the hours just for store 421, I could use the positioners and key in just store 421 and press Enter, and you'll notice that the 420 is now gone. If I want to tab over here under the R column for regular pay, I can put a Y in there, and then it will display only those people that have hours keyed in. So you'll notice that everyone in this column has a Y under the regular field. If I wanted to look at just the salary people for this store 421, under the H for our salary field, I can key in S, and then it just displays the individuals that are salary. On the screen, you'll notice that Lisa Robinson here has an asterisk I. That means that she is inactive. The system will allow you to pay an inactive employee, but will give you a prompt that's telling you that that person is inactive. So that's the regular time entry. So I'm going to go ahead and go back. We're now going to go in, and if you're keying someone a second check, maybe that's a bonus check, or if it's a vacation check. So we're going to use the same screen, the employee time entry screen. In this case, you're usually going to find the individual that actually gets the vacation check in addition to the regular check. I can come over and type in the last name of the individual and press Enter in the positioner field. It then would list anyone with that last name. So Hank here, you can see by the yes and regular, has a regular check. So now we're going to give him a bonus check, but we want it to be a second check. So I'm going to highlight Hank and come up here to do second check automatic. What the automatic means is that the system is going to automatically calculate the taxes for this check. If I wanted to manually calculate the taxes, I could use the second check manual. So I click on second check automatic. Again, this screen is very similar to the regular time entry screen. So in this case, I was going to be keying a bonus. So there's no shortcut for bonus, so I'm going to physically tab across to the type and key in BONS, which is the bonus earnings code. And then I'm going to tab past the hours and the rate, and then key in the amount of the bonus. So what will happen here is it will cut a second check for Hank for $1,000 in addition to his regular check. If for some reason this is a bonus and I want to tax it a little bit differently, so you can see we're a weekly payroll, so if I taxed this regularly, it would annualize to $1,000, but maybe this is just a semi-annual or annual bonus. I can then highlight the bonus field, click on second check taxes. I can come down here, and then I can pick another. Let's say I'm going to tax this on an annual basis. This is his annual bonus, and then I can click OK, and then click OK. When the payroll is processed, it will treat this $1,000 as if it's an annual bonus and tax it such, not tax it on a weekly basis. Go ahead and go back. I'm sorry, we'll go return to go back. So there's the second check screen. I'm going to go ahead and remove Hill from the positioner. Again, all the employees are listed. If now we look at Hank Hill down here, we'll see we have both a yes in the regular column, and then we also have a yes in the second column, which means he gets a second check. So if we wanted to see all the individuals with second check, we can tab across to the positioner under the 2 for second check, and if I key in a Y there and hit enter, it will then show me all the employees that have a second check, and you can see here that Hank happens to be the only one. One more screen that we want to do here is let's pretend there was a voided check that we were going to key in. If I highlight the employee just like I did previously and keyed in void, you will then be prompted for the week ending date of the voided check and the check number, and the system will automatically recall that check, and you can click OK to void it. I'm going to go ahead and hit exit, and then go ahead and hit back, and that is the payroll time entry screens.